12 dreams for the Red Queen under the crown of stone, that she may linger longer with eyes kept closed. 11 thorns blooming from her troubled brow, awaiting the next harvest to be gleaned at brisk springs. 10 copper veins ripped from the belly of the earth, melted into tears flowing toward the banished brothers. 9 glorious pyres on a scorched plain, to punish those whose hand was slow to obey. 8 voracious beasts born from 8 restless nights, their backs hardened by their race with the sun. 7 notes of warning in the summer sky, compelling child to shielded sheets of sleep. 6 watchers bent on hunting trails, shadows of their spears trace the tired furrows. 5 houses to fall before song's end, then 5 more reborn from their blackened ashes. 4 nails piercing the flesh of the sinner, restlessly hung to the dark wood of his crimes. 3 books scribbled by pen of the dancer, who refuses to answer the call of the abyss. 2 giant rival snakes slither in ageless forest, coiled to the bones of mortals destined for the grave. 1 prayer for the summoned, called by the song, child born from darkness, whose path he must find. From Drinking at the Fountain of Knowledge by Usher Talltree. That poem seems familiar. And the dreams of the Red Queen. He mentioned a hungering queen. A ravenous queen? I can't remember how he phrased it. But why would that be down here? Which way did I came from this direction. That makes this urge to explore the sewer all worth it, no matter what else I may or may not find down here. Hopefully it's going to be good handle parts. And money, because I need a lot of money. I'm a poor vampire right now. Luckily, there's a lot of shillings laying around in a sewer. Unluckily, I found a trail of blood. And there is a lot of it. A lot of it. Okay. Wait, am I... No, I'm nowhere near close. For a moment I thought I'd reached the SKAL hideout in the sewers beneath Sean Hampton's sanctuary. Wait! This is where I fought Fergal. So I could be close to the sanctuary. Where's Fergal's body? Why do I get a horrible feeling I've not seen the last of Fergal? Is this where I left? It must be. I don't see any other doors, so I must have gone that route before. Let's go back this way then. I want to explore new ground. I have been this way before. Yes, this is... I ran this way. This leads out to the docks. And I had to jump down there to fight Fergal. I haven't been this direction. Pre-wing guard. There's Harriet Jones I can sense from this far away, so we are close to the hideout. Nothing else over here though, which is disappointing. Maybe I should be taking the sewers more often to get around. Maybe that would avoid a lot of hassle and trouble navigating the streets above. There are rats here. Sorry, Mr. Rat.
This is despicable.
I know, but I need the blood. Where have they gone?
Area. I can't can't believe I'm doing this.
Yes, you say this every time, Jonathan, but I can believe we're doing this.
I have this thirst for blood.
Let's go. We're going to go to the North Docks, because there's things we need to do around there. But we may as well take the sewer route now. Down here, Deja Vu fighting Fergal. So, if I'm remembering correctly, this route should then lead me to their hideout. I could speak with old Bridget and Harriet Jones while I'm down here, see if they've got anything new for me. And then we can go on to the docks and treat some people for whatever ails them. And I think, as well, maybe drink the serial killer. Bridget.
Have you found the answers you were looking for, young Ekon?
There is too much left unanswered. So many questions.
I'm not sure I'll ever get all the
Get
answers
to
I
know
want.
us. Spend time with us, and I may be willing to answer more questions.
You've nothing new for me now, but thank you.
Thank you, old Bridget. I hope we'll meet again.
Let's speak with Harriet while we're down here. We might as well. See if she has anything new for me now I've spoken with Sean. And, oh, study blood sample. I missed this last time. Sorry, Harriet. I'm just pilfering your room.
No more words. Please.
Okay. She doesn't want to speak anymore. And I won't bother her because she seems in pain. There was the gentleman down here hiding near the Skal. He seems to have moved on. We should go locate him in the docks as well. He might have more information for us regarding the incident that got his friend killed. Now, it was Lottie Paxton. She's fatigued. This is a good place to start.
Glad to see you again, Mr. Reed.
And are you? You're always pleasant to speak to. Have we... No more hints there. Any news about Sean Hampton's shelter? Has anything happened in the last night or so?
Do you have recent news of Sean Hampton's shelter?
Apparently not. Are you worried about the situation in London?
Are you worried about the sanitary situation in London?
There are rumours of infected people turned mad by the fever and roaming the streets, attacking everyone they see. Is it true?
As long as you stay away from the streets, you should be all right.
You're safe here.
All right, Dr. Reed. We feel kind of left alone around here.
I bet. It's a very isolated part of London. But you don't seem terribly well, if I may say so.
Do you need my medical attention, Miss Paxton?
I can keep going, Dr. Reed.
Yes, you don't need to soldier on if I've got a treatment here for you. Here, take it, you'll feel better.
Of course you can, Miss Paxton. But I wouldn't recommend it. Please, take this. You will feel better.
Thank you, Dr. Reed. Thank you. Really.
You're welcome. I'll leave you be. Make sure you take that.
Goodbye, Miss Paxton.
Right, that's our first good deed of the night done. Throgmorton, was he fatigued too? He isn't outside of here. Maybe he's near the pub. Right, let's just check. He was fatigued, so I need a new treatment for fatigue. 3 fatigues, 4 more fatigues. I got a lot of fatigue treatments to dish out tonight. And see more to drink if we can discover another hint about him. Because that could be 3,000 experience for me. I need to find... Ah, that was easy. I needed to find Rodney Grader. Rodney!
Good evening, sir. I'm glad to see you safe.
I am not safe. I should never have come back here. My life is in danger. I know it.
You're much safer here than in that contaminated area.
Your life was in danger down there.
Quicker than diseases and epidemics, Dr. Reed.
Well, now that you want to talk, or now that we're in a position where we can talk, tell me, what do you know about this part of town? But I actually want to know first. more about the incident that led you into the sewers and your friend. But we can't ask yet about this part of town.
What can you tell me about this district?
The East End docks only knows one rule. Dog eat dog, and blood calls for blood. The gang will have their revenge on me one way or another.
And local figures. Dog eat dog, blood calls for blood. But then it never stops, does it? Blood for blood for blood for blood. It just goes on and on and on. Local figures. I imagine this is going to lead you to telling me about the Wet Boot Boys.
What can you tell me about the locals?
Most people would say that Sean Hampton and Tom Watts are good men who try to sort things out. But for me, the real boss around there was my best friend, Jack Gillingham.
Jack Gillingham, you say?
Everyone round there knew Jack. He was a rock. A mountain even. He feared nothing.
He really was quite something. And he took great care of his mother. Then, can you tell me more about your friend Jack?
Your friend Jack has something to do with you fleeing to the contaminated area where I found you. I want to know more.
Much
Jack is
more.
dead. That's all you need to know. Dead because of me. So much violence. So much sorrow. All of that because I refused to be insulted again.
It's... You couldn't have known. You couldn't have known. You shouldn't have to take the abuse you take. You did react in an extreme manner, and I can't condone it. However, I understand where all that emotion and stress and rage came from. I'm not going to tell him to take responsibility and to stop hiding. I don't know the answer. I'm not going to pretend I know the answer. But you couldn't have known. Oh, but then he'll go like, oh, no, I knew what was going to happen if I attacked the Wet Boot Boys. With the Wet Boot Boys being the way they are, and the way they antagonize people, this was bound to happen sooner or later, and it could have happened to anyone. You were only, you know, the spark that started the war.
The docks are being consumed by violence. Any war you may have started was already brewing underneath the surface, just waiting for a spark to ignite it.
Perhaps you're right. The district was doomed before I was born. But I cannot stop myself thinking that Jack died for me.
Why do you say that?
After I killed that gang member, the Wet Boot Boy suspected Jack. And being loyal and all, he did not refute the accusation.
So, Jack really is responsible for... Well, I don't want to say responsible for his own death. Of course he wasn't, but he should have denied any knowledge of it. He shouldn't have taken responsibility for it. That was foolish of him. And he could have denied it without, you know, pinning the blame on you. He could have said, I don't know what happened to him. He could have just pleaded ignorance. Jack's death clearly affected you very deeply.
The death of your friend has affected you deeply, hasn't it?
Jack Gillingham was the real deal. He believed we could change the world if we were united and focused enough. And he brought out the best in each of us.
I am not going to call a dead man who seems to have a lot of principles and good intentions. I'm not going to call him stupid for standing up alone. I don't know if saying he died to save you is a good idea, but he did lose his life by standing up for you in the way he shouldn't have done it in the way he did, but it is what happened.
You're right. He died to save you. That alone gives me an idea of the kind of man he was.
He was the bravest. And no one dares to say openly that he got killed by those bastards.
Should I be ridding the docks of the Wet Boot Boys? Would that improve or reduce stability? I just think removing them would leave a power vacuum for other gangsters. I think for the moment, I don't really have any right to get involved in dishing out justice. One serial killer, a gangster there. You know, when it's small changes like that, where it's just, you know, making the streets that little bit safer, that's one thing. But leading a little solo war against the Wet Boot Boys, I think that's madness. And what do you plan to do now, Rodney?
You are not going to spend the rest of your life hiding, Rodney. What are you planning to do?
Honestly, I have no idea. How am I supposed to live while so many have suffered because of me?
Only you can answer that question. But one thing is certain. Since you owe Jack your life, I think it's fair to live it in a way that would make him proud.
Exactly.
That's the kind of thing Jack could have said, Dr. Reed. Thank you for that. I believe you're a good guy too.
Thank you, I appreciate that. You, I think, were somebody who stood by you quite so much. And so, you know, when the stakes were so high, you do owe him to so continue his legacy, to respect that legacy. I'll leave you be.
Goodbye, Mr. Grader. Take care.
Maybe I should go check in with his mother, Jack's mother. But what have you got for sale, sir?
Good evening, young man.
There's no need to call me that, Dr. Reed.
Well, we'll ask a couple of questions afterwards if we can. I do wonder how you got the music box with the letter from Jack to his mother. Oh no, from his mother to Jack. But apparently I can't ask you about that, so let's look what you've got for sale.
Show me what you have to offer then, Mr. Nightingale.
Aluminium parts. I needed aluminium parts for Charlotte's steak, didn't I? We can sell the old steak for 43 shillings. I think that's a good idea. The good dagger, 31 shillings. Let's keep the good dagger for now, but we are going to sell the old steak. Old Faithful, you've served me well. And we did then have valuables too. I'm going to sell the forks. Anything that's got a great resale value, I think is a good one to sell. Everything else, I think component-wise, would be more useful. I can't make another treatment for fatigue here. I can sell ammunition, which is interesting to note. However, not very profitable. I could sell serums, but again, and the treatments, but I don't think that's worth it at all. That's just going to cost me precious components. Let's check. I go to here. Details. I need 5 aluminium parts. Aluminium parts. And I can reduce the stamina cost by 3. Is that worth the price? How much were they? I should have checked first.
Good evening,
Excuse
young
me,
man.
sir.
Show me.
75. I'm not paying that. I'm not paying that at all. They would be useful, but I think for 3 stamina cost, when it's already a lower stamina cost than I'm used to anyway, I don't see any point in purchasing it. Purchasing the parts.
Good evening, Miss Gillingham. May I come in?
Of course, of course.
Thank you. She does think I'm Dr. Tippets, I must remember. Excuse me, I just wanted to see if there's anything more I can ask you about
Dr.
Jack.
Tippets, what brings you back here? We haven't talked in quite some time.
And I'm afraid you still haven't. Nothing more I can ask you. Any news about Sean Hampton's shelter?
Have you heard anything recently concerning Sean Hampton's shelter?
I've never heard that name before, I'm afraid.
No, I don't quite know what I expected from that. She isn't going to be the most reliable source of news, but are you worried about London's situation? I don't think she's aware a pandemic is on.
Are you worried about the sanitation crisis in London?
Too much noise, too much shouting. It keeps me up. Is it really gunfire I'm hearing?
It could well be. You seem healthy enough. I'll leave you be.
Goodbye, Miss Gillian.
Now, where next? Everyone else I needed a treat, I believe, is in the other part of the docks. So that does mean a very short walk. I was just thinking if there's a safer way. But either way across, I think just leads me through danger. Well, we may as well take the route we know. And while I'm passing, I will go make another treatment for fatigue. And drink a couple of rats. Oh, hello!
Despicable.
You know, I thought to myself, there's no big beastie this time, but I never thought to check where that beastie might be. Oh, you bugger. Drink. You don't like that, do you? Let's heal. And let's... Oh, right. Oh! You're calling reinforcements? That's cheating! Ow! I wish I didn't use my unleash quite so easily now. Oh! Right, I need a backup. Let's heal. Ow! Oh, target. Go. Focus on the right one. The big one's the issue. The other ones are just annoyances. Oh! Right, blood spear. Pounce! Stagger him. Oh, get off me! Everyone's waiting for their turn. Spear! Oh, let's just finish him. Drink. Oh, careful. I just wanted to drink some rats. You can relate, can't you? Oh, you got a lunge on you. Oh, I can't. Let's heal. Let's get some blood. Heal again. Come on, mister. Let's drink more from you. Blood spear. I need to level that up next, I think. It's nice having a long-ranged option. Dearie me. Right. The other benefit of waiting longer between nights is you keep the streets clear for longer. Craft that. I've got... I thought I had a sample to analyze, but clearly not. Let's recycle all of this. And let's get... We won't craft any serums for now. I don't really need them. Did we scare off the rats? Oh, good, we didn't. Hello, Mr. Rat.
I have this thirst for blood.
Yes, I do. Rats are a tasty treat at this point.
Doing this.
Now, there's no brewing guard here anymore. New practices, new tactics. I know that some of our companions consider that the best advantage we have in our fight against leeches is that they can't go out during the day. Thus, we can hunt them down when they hide, powerless in their sleep. This is a rookie mistake. First, because vampires are clever, and they have countless ruses and tricks to avoid being spotted in their den. Second, because they deploy many deadly traps to kill any intruders in what they consider their most precious sanctuary. It would cost us too much men and too much time to explore and eradicate vampires in their hideouts. The best tactic is to follow them and destroy them when they are really vulnerable, when they hunt at night. It is much easier to attack them then, for they can easily be spotted. That's why the Guard must evolve and deploy new tactics to hunt leeches. Small, mobile patrols, tactics based on technological advantages, modern communications. We can learn many things from the war in France, new strategy, new equipment, new weaponry. Grenades, white phosphorus, ultraviolet light, bulletproof vests and flamethrower. It is time for the Guard to embrace the 20th century. From A New War by Jeffrey McCullum, Pre-Wen leader. Ultraviolet light. Is that what those staff-wielding ones are wielding? Or is it simply the holy relics still? Hello? Sir? You're, new? I kind of want to fight him. But I also do kind of want to sneak past. Don't mind me, big boy. He might be someone we have to fight another day. But not today. I've not seen Mr. Throgmorton yet. I was anticipating he'd be out the front of the pub. But he is not. Where's he gotten to? Edwina.
They say. Then the gangs, the epidemics, everyone's throwing the blame.
You are the gangs. You are kind of to blame.
Good evening, Miss Cox.
Hello
Well,
again,
for a lot of the
Dr.
violence happening here, not for the epidemic. Well, first of all, you tell you what, if we treat her, she might offer us better prices. You seem a little fatigued.
Can I offer you my medical help, Miss Cox?
Giving out for free? You'd make a poor businessman, Dr. Reed.
Well, I'm a doctor, not a businessman. And it's immoral to charge people for this is such easy help to give. Why would I charge that?
Perhaps I would. Please, take this. You will feel better.
Thank you. But don't expect me to owe you anything.
Okay, well, I suppose we're not going to get a discount after all. Oh, we've not asked you this before, have we? About Booth, your lover, about his belief in monsters.
Tell me your feelings about Booth's belief in monsters, Edwina.
It makes him look weak in front of the boys. That's my feeling about it. But ghosts don't scare me.
You don't believe he really saw something then?
I don't care what he saw or not. All I know is that a real man keeps his fears to himself if he wants to be obeyed.
So you dislike this show of weakness from Booth Digby. Interesting. We should go speak with Booth Digby after this, but let's see what you've got for sale.
Can I see what you have to sell?
As long as you have money, I'll show you all I have.
Good handle parts. That will do for me for now. Thank you. Booth Digby. Are you still just shooting that sack? Or the wall? That might ricochet and hit you one day. Or hit somebody else. Preferably not me.
You again. What do you want?
Let's see. No, nothing new to ask you. What about Sean Hampton's shelter? News reaching over here?
Have you heard anything about Sean Hampton's shelter?
That bastard's become something of a holy man these days. Someone should remind him who really rules the docks.
Yeah, you stay away from that shelter, or I will be coming for you. What about London's situation? Worried?
Are you worried about the conditions in London?
I've heard rumours about some sort of militia patrolling, killing the sick. The wet boot boys are overrun.
So the guard are basically almost forcing you out due to them being a bigger
Goodbye,
militia.
Mr. Digby.
No sign of Mr. Throgmorton. That is kind of worrying. I'm gonna get trapped on a wall apparently, but first, rats. There we go.
I have this thirst for blood.
Zip up here, make another treatment. We'll go find another patient. I do wish I could carry more than one treatment
Good evening, Mrs.
at a
Fishburne.
time.
May I come in, please?
Of course. Dr. Reed.
We should speak with her as well, see if we can discover anything else regarding her son
Don't worry.
before we make our final decision. Nothing I can read here. I did comb this place quite thoroughly before. It doesn't seem like I missed anything. What about the picture above the fireplace? No. Right, Edwina, was it? No, that's the Edwina
What can I
card.
do for you, Dr. Reed?
Actually, it's a question of what I can do for you.
Mrs. Fishburne, are you in need of any medical assistance?
I am afraid I am, Doctor. I don't feel well at all.
Well, here. Take this, you'll feel better.
Then let me give you a prescription.
I thank you for your generosity, sir. It's something this part of town truly needs.
I maybe should be a bit more cautious about handing out prescriptions without asking any questions about what's wrong with them. I just sort of turn up saying, do you need help? And say, oh, I'm not feeling too well, or oh, I can persevere, and I know exactly how to treat them from that alone. Being a vampire, because I can tell what's wrong with them. Nothing else I can ask. I'll leave you be.
Goodbye, Miss Fishburne. Take care of yourself.
Let's speak with the boy outside. There he is. Rufus? Oh, that's right, you were homeless.
Evening, Rufus.
Evening, Mr. Reed.
Anything else I can ask you? There are hints here to be discovered. Why don't you go to Sean Hampton's shelter if you're homeless, Rufus?
Heard anything about Sean Hampton's shelter lately?
I heard that Mr. Hampton has been very sick, but now he's better.
And what about London's situation? Any thoughts?
Are you worried about the sanitary situation?
I never really felt safe in this town anyway. Now's the first time that everyone seems to feel the same way as me.
Is anything worrying you right now?
Gunshots? I hear them every night. Who's firing? Who are they shooting at? That's what's scary.
Probably the guard shooting at the vampires. You're well, I'll leave you be.
So long, Rufus. Be careful. Take care.
Now, Seymour Fishburne. Before we talk to him, let's have another look at his hideout. There are a lot of bodies down here. And this chest.
It's locked.
Not getting in there. Oh, Rufus. And where would be the best position to spy on that? Right, let's run. Don't want to miss this window of opportunity. The other side. Let's not hang around. Here. What are you doing, Rufus?
Don't you think Miss Fishburne is nice to us? But I always have the feeling she's hiding something. For now, you're still the only real friend I have, Jack.
I was just talking to rats. Oh, right, okay. If I go down there, do not drink the rat.